You know, and we all have our 15 minutes of fame, and I'd like to take a couple of my 15 minutes to talk about the rights and the wrongs in the world of professional wrestling.
And it is for the WWE Championship.
This match is for the ECW World Heavyweight Championship.
The World Heavyweight Championship.
The match and new NWA Heavyweight Champion.
We appreciate you guys coming out and taking your time to support women's wrestling in America.
This match is for the AWA World Heavyweight Wrestling Championship.
I am the Diva Beater. I am Miss Duval. This is Sienna Duval, and you're tuned into Women's Pro Wrestling Network. You don't want to miss this. Check them out on iTunes and YouTube.
Greetings, everybody. This is Mr. Green, and you are listening to the Rights and Wrongs of Pro Wrestling / Women's Pro Wrestling Network. And joining me this evening, no, not Miss Sienna Duval. She was just opening me up. Had to find that bit of audio clip there. And I appreciate y'all for waiting around for me to actually go through my technical difficulties to do that. But we have tonight a West Coast competitor. You can see a ton of her work on YouTube. Thank God for YouTube. She's been in the ring with the likes of Rebby Sky and set to collide with well-respected ring technicians like Cheerleader Melissa, the hardcore fighters like Lufisto, and she's willing to take them both on their own style and turf. That she can seemingly do a lot of that. She can fight and she can get technical when need be. She's a rising star that took on a brief alternate identity as Spike on the 2013 revamped program WOW, which a lot of fans have been asking about consistently. And she is currently known as the future of women's wrestling, Miss Hudson Envy. Miss Envy.
Hey, how are you guys?
I am wonderful. How are you out there?
I am wonderful. It's nice and sunny where I'm at.
Oh, well. Well, it's dark over here. Thank you for bringing that up. No.
You're welcome.
The sun has gone down over here. We don't have any sun out right now.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah, I know. You sound much more pleasant than your wrestling would imply. There's a lot of footage of you that is quite aggressive and sometimes a little angry.
Well, I have an anger problem, but
why do you have an anger problem? What?
It works out to my advantage.
Well, when your job is hurting other people, I would imagine so. Where did this anger problem come from? Where did this anger management issue that you have stem from? That's well, I guess it is a good thing since you're in the job that you're in. But let's delve back a little bit. Where did this kick off? When did you start hurting people?
Since I could walk.
Okay, since you could walk, that's very fascinating. I don't know how good that is. You was the kid that what?
I was the kid running with scissors.
Oh, okay. Well, for those kids that may be listening to this out there, don't run with scissors. Probably not the best thing to do. We don't want you to cut anybody or yourself. Miss Envy probably slashed up a couple of people. But that's why she is in the business that she is in now. So
exactly.
She can cause some pain, blues, and agony to people without having any legal ramifications. So, let me start with this. First, I'd like you to list your social media because, people have to be able to follow you and they have to be able to find you. So for fans and promoters alike to get a hold of you or find you, follow you, where can they do that?
Well, fans can follow me on Twitter at Hudson Envy, and Facebook, I have a page you can like, or you can add me as a friend, Hudson Envy. And for promoters, they can hit me up on Twitter or Facebook or my email, which is hudsonenvy@yahoo.com.
Okay, that sounds pretty easy. Facebook and Twitter, y'all can find her there if you're looking to book her out. Seems like she is willing to make the drive on occasion. I saw some footage of you down in Mexico. How far out are you willing to do what it is that you do? Let's get your traveling parameters here because, some promoters do need to hear that.
Well, promoters, if they want me, they can fly me out, and I travel everywhere.
Is this a have boots, will travel motto?
Basically, yeah.
Oh, okay. I got you. Now, I understand that you have some upcoming events. One particular one against a mentor of yours, this hardcore anime Lufisto.
Yes.
Now, well, first off, are there any messages that you have for her and any other upcoming opponent that you are dealing with?
Well, I'm dealing with a few of them right now, but at the top of my list is Cheerleader Melissa attacking me this weekend.
Really?
Yes. She blindsided
okay.
me. So, Cheerleader Melissa. What were you saying?
Well, I said, so assuming that Cheerleader Melissa gets a hold of this message, what is it that you have to say to her?
Oh, I have to say, if you think blindsiding me is the way to go because I beat you, you got something coming to you, sweetie. This isn't over by far. It takes a lot more than that to keep me down.
Now, would you like to inform the people listening as to what the issues between you and Cheerleader Melissa have come from? Is this just something that came out of the blue, or does this go back a little ways, start with something small and kind of elevate it to this point?
Well, it started with something small, and then now it's slowly escalating at AWS. I thought it was over, but Saturday she proved me wrong, and apparently it's not. So She came and won my match defending my title against Brittany Wonder and hit me with her driver and knocked me out pretty cold.
Well, that must have been a hell of a driver then, because you seem pretty tough.
It was definitely
so
one
hell of a driver. I can imagine. Now, for those that do not know her under the guise of Cheerleader Melissa, she's also gone as Alyssa Flash for those that might know her on the national basis from the TNA/Impact days. Now, did this issue between you and Melissa start for the title, or did it begin with that?
Well, it started when we first ever met in the ring May 10th, and I outsmarted her and took the win, and might have stole some of her T-shirts. They might have found their way into my bag, and then it escalated from this Saturday, which I wasn't expecting. So definitely have some unfinished business.
So you acquired some Cheerleader Melissa merchandise on a 5-finger discount. Does that sound about correct?
Possibly.
Okay. We'll leave it at that. I don't want to paint any bad pictures here. We're just trying to get it nice and cleared up. But some merchandise found its way into your possession. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
And now it is on.
Nice.
Okay. So it is. You got what?
It got redesigned.
All right. What kind of redesigns are we talking here? And will the people be able to see these new designs? You know, have you put these new designs up on your Facebook or anything like that?
They are on Facebook, indeed. They are on Facebook and Twitter.
Facebook and Twitter, okay. And I think that would be the what is that? The Melissa's Going to Kill You shirt. Is that the one?
Yeah.
And that's been redesigned to say Hudson's going to kill you.
Yeah, and then on the back it says Team Envy. I think I improved them. I did her a favor.
Well, that's possible. That's possible. You certainly did a favor for Team Envy. I don't know what other members that you have within that, or is it just your fan base in general. So you know, I'm sure they're very happy with it.
Oh, they're ecstatic.
But you know, the problem is that Melissa can't earn money off of shirts that say Hudson was going to kill you. That it doesn't ring well for her pocket, I'm sure.
Well, I can make money off of them, so I don't see what the problem is. Yes, indeed, you can make money off of that. So it works out in a weird sort of way, I guess, in wrestling logic sort of way. We can go with that. So Melissa has something coming to her. There's a receipt on the way, and in this public forum, you are telling her that Payback is around the corner. Oh, Payback is definitely around the corner.
And we're not talking about the WWE Payback.
Oh, it's not going to be PG-13 Payback.
Okay. It is going to be a little bit more hardcore than that. Is there any special stipulation that you're looking to add on to this match between yourself and Cheerleader Melissa? Since it's not going to be PG-13, are we going to expect y'all to be brawling down the aisles or inside a cage or something like that? Or has it, the promoter's trying to keep y'all relatively civil right now?
I think civil got thrown out the door when she attacked me Saturday. So even if the promoters were trying to, there's just no way in hell that's going to happen. She crossed the line.
Sounds like the fans there are going to be in for quite the brawl. So, quick note to the fans of Hudson Envy and the notes of Cheerleader Melissa. If you are in attendance of that particular match, you may want to stay out of the way because it sounds like it could be pretty dangerous. It might be fists and feet flying in every direction. And we don't want anybody to get smacked around because if she can knock out Hudson with a driver, I'm pretty sure she can knock out a couple of people. And I'm sure you can knock out some people too. You might be swinging a chair and brain somebody.
I like chairs.
Okay.
Happy.
Chairs. Nice blunt objects. You know, before we go over to Lufisto, I did hear you say something along the lines in an interview that almost everywhere you've gone, you've had Tab Jackson to contend with. Is she, for lack of a better term, your biggest rival to date?
Tab Jackson is my biggest rival because when I did debut, it was all about she was my main rivalry. She's slowly recovering from an injury, but as soon as she's back on her game, I would love a chance to step back in the ring with her. I would have to say that girl's got some skills.
Okay, so you two have earned respect for each other despite the fact that she's your biggest rival. You do respect her in the ring.
Yes.
Okay. That's fair enough. Now, the big question is, she's coming back off of injury. Are you going to just put an injury right back on her if you do get in the ring with her?
Well, I mean, yeah, most likely. I mean, you step in the ring with me, I'm not going to baby you in any way. I'm going to hurt you.
So
and
a
it's
friendly,
I know what
friendly
body
competitive match is out the way. Oh my goodness! You know the body part to hit too. That's terrible. You're gonna ruin this woman.
No, it's smart. I know who I'm competing against. I've studied her. Never go into a fight blind.
Well, I guess she shouldn't do that, but you're not going to allow just a competitive exchange of holds. I know that you can do it. I've watched it. I've watched the matches. I've seen you do the whole exchange, the reversal hammerlock, so on and so forth. So it's in you, or do you just prefer to have a brawl? Is that what it is? Do you just prefer to have a down-out, eye-scratching, eye-gouging, body-slinging brawl?
Well, the honest answer to this question is it depends who my opponent is. Some people, I just love beating up and brawling and just making their life miserable. But other people, I kind of have to be more technical and then brawl and beat them up.
Okay. Give me an idea of the toughest match that you've had to date.
The toughest match would be Cheerleader Melissa. To date, it would be her. She definitely pushed me to my limit, which was a big eye-opener for me because it definitely made me step up my game. So Cheerleader Melissa definitely was my hardest, most difficult match to date.
And you have her upcoming all over again. And you're prepared to go through the ringer one more time with this woman.
Oh, I will go through the ringer 20 more times with her. I am not scared.
You don't sound it whatsoever.
She's going to put me in a hold, and I'm going to get out of it, put her in one that she's going to tap out to. I will always be one step ahead, just like I beat her on May 10th.
All right, for Cheerleader Melissa, who are listening out there, or fans of Cheerleader Melissa that might pass this information on, sounds like you got a fight on your hands. Are you calling the tap out? Let's get that out of the way. Are you calling the finish? Are you going to make her tap?
I'm either going to make her tap out or do her the honor that she did me and knock her out.
Ooh. All right. So that could be fairly brutal. I hope that somehow, somebody puts that up so that the world can see this, because unfortunately, I'm on an entirely different coast, so I can't attend this match. So I'm relying on video footage to exist somewhere to be able to find this.
Oh, there'll be footage.
That sounds like it sounds like something I shouldn't miss. Now, at times and during this interview, you sound like you could be quite the aggressive persona. You told me that you've been that way since birth, more or less. So let's start with the story of Hudson Envy. Where did you realize pro wrestling was your calling? When did you decide that, all right, I'm going to get into this? Give me the story. How and why?
Well, being a little girl in Texas, I was never the one who wanted to be in pageantry or do any of that. I was the tomboy that wanted to play football, that wanted to go roller skating, go ride bulls. And then, my whole family was into wrestling, and I would watch it, and I would just get a feeling. I still get the feeling to this day that's it just draws me to it. It's just something inside of me was saying, you're meant to do that. And that's really where it all began, was just my family watching it, and then me just falling in love with it.
What was the debut year?
My debut year was July 7th, 2012.
2012. So you are 2 years and running. Well,
Yes.
almost 2 years. You're just shy of 2 years.
Yes.
Okay, so you got an anniversary coming up. So who's going to be the beatdown for your anniversary?
Oh, well, this is going to be a tough one because it's going to be Lufisto. But, you know, being my mentor, I know what she brings to the table.
Lufisto is your anniversary match?
Yes.
Ow. Ouch. And
Yeah.
for those that don't know who Lufisto is, please describe her, because, you know, I don't know if I could do her justice. The videos that she has out there are incredible, but you being her student, I guess, for lack of a better term, and her being your mentor, paint the picture of how aggressive she is in the ring.
She can kick the guys' butts. I mean, she is probably one of the most. I can't believe that she's not signed by a major company, honestly. She might be small, but she is stronger than any woman, or not. Okay, I wouldn't say any man, but stronger than any woman in most guys. You step in the ring with her, you better be 120%. She is not scared of a damn thing.
And I certainly hope that you have this mentality also, that you won't be scared of nothing. Because, okay, first off, what's the stipulation on here? Because that's going to define a lot. She has clearly made it, obvious to the world that she's not scared to bleed. She's not scared to deal with barbed wire or glass or chairs or any of that stuff. Anybody that has watched her in these hardcore extreme matches knows that she's willing to do a lot. And I can only assume, you being, having been trained by her, that you're probably willing to go just as far. So is there any special stipulation that surrounds this match between you and Lufisto?
As of right now, as far as I know, it's just a regular match, but it's still over 2 months away, and anything is possible.
You cannot be campaigning to get a stipulation added. You should keep it a regular match, You know that, don't you?
I'm not stupid. I know.
Well, yeah, we don't want y'all to, beat each other into oblivion, because, I get the impression that the student versus mentor deal, you two probably would fight till the next day if possible. And I don't think anybody would have enough energy in them to sit there and watch it for the length of time that you two are probably willing to go. You need rules. You need a pinfall or something. Somebody got to go down for a 3 or tap.
Yeah, as far as I know, it's just a regular match. I don't think that's going to change. But like I said, you never know in the wrestling world. Things can change in a blink of an eye.
Well, that is true, as evident by the fact that you were attacked this weekend, and you now have this new drive in you to punish Cheerleader Melissa for it.
I was attacked, and she spit beer in my face.
Well, I'm almost positive that if I were to ask her why she spit beer in your face, she would have some sort of a reasonable explanation, at least one that she thinks so is reasonable in her head. I found that. You want to hear that explanation? Okay. I will endeavor to find out. I will endeavor to find out. If I can get a hold of her, I will specifically ask, A, why did you attack her? And B, what's up with the beer? What did you spit it in her face for?
I mean, it could have been
So
whiskey.
we'll see.
God, I would have had my mouth open or something. Come on now.
So next time you want her to just get some whiskey, get a better thing, some whiskey, maybe some Jack or something like that. Okay, all right. Well, we'll pass that on. We can get that across. We can pass that on. We can. I'm sure that word will come across the next time you do it. Matter of fact, let's just say right now, Cheerleader Melissa, if you're out there, the next time you spit any sort of adult beverage into Envy's face, at least let it be something that she likes.
Yeah, like Jack
go
Daniels.
for some whiskey. Oh, there you go, Jack Daniels. Boom. Now I'm going to sidetrack to your alter ego for a moment. Oh, okay. That didn't sound good. That sounded like a groan. but we got to get through this because people want to know. They want to know. There are fans of the WOW promotion, WOW, Women of Wrestling, which is operated by David McClain, I believe. At least he's the producer. Yeah. I'll leave him in that role. And I believe the trek to have that show revamped started in late 2012 and was more or less set to premiere in 2013. First, how did you hook up with WOW?
Well, honestly, that is my trainer, who I started out with, Jesse Hernandez.
Mm-hmm.
I guess David had asked him, or no, I'm sorry, Leilani Kai saw me and asked him about me, and then from there I went down for a tryout, and they liked me.
Okay. And to the best of my knowledge, there's like a full season of WOW that exists somewhere on a shelf that maybe the production people have watched. I don't know. I don't know if it aired locally or anything like that. The page is constantly getting requests and when are y'all going to go on the air and what happened and where's the show and this and that and so on and so forth. Is there any enlightenment that you have as far as that program is concerned?
As far as I know, because sadly I'm currently no longer with them.
Okay.
But I think so. They have something in the works for the summer, but I can't give you an honest answer because I really don't know.
All right. Well, that's fair. That's fair. Now, I don't want to go past any bounds here, so let me know if you can't answer it or not. Is there any particular reason that you're not associated with WOW at this point? Did you just choose to step down, or what's the deal there?
Oh, no, my contract just ran out. That's all. Nothing major.
Okay. Well, that was painless. And for those that don't know you on that show, you were not Hudson Envy, you were Spike, correct?
Yes.
Who was Spike?
Spike is, there was a wrestler called Thug. That's Peggy Lee Leather. I am her niece.
Okay.
And that's, so that's who I've portrayed on, in WOW. So some pretty big shoes to fill right there. Peggy Lee Leather, she's a great female wrestler. And I was so blessed to be able to step in the ring and have some of her knowledge drop down onto me. So that was just an incredible experience that I will never forget.
Yeah, okay. And WOW seems like they have good production quality and value for what I've seen off of it. I'm probably like a lot of people. You go to the website, you've seen the pictures, you've seen, I guess, the set, the pyro and stuff like that. But since that time, not just you, but I want to say maybe 2 or 3 people have gone on to do other stuff. I know one of them has gone back into acting. She's been on TV and a couple of television shows and things like that. One of them's gone into doing stunt work. Of course, Santana Garrett with TNA now. You just say your contract ran out. Assuming, let's just say that, hypothetically speaking, they get the deal. WoW goes on to the air. And I can only guess that they would start with the episodes that were already pre-taped that's sitting on the shelf right now. And with that story already in place, they would quite possibly come after you. Is there anything that would prevent you from going back and taking the role of Spike on television?
There's probably only one thing that would stop that, and that's if I got an opportunity to go train in the dojos in Japan. Then
the dojos of Japan.
Yes.
And it's more for you. That's the bigger opportunity for you right at this moment. That's a goal of yours. That you want to go to Japan.
Well, for me in my career, yes, that is that's where I want to be.
All right. Well, you know that's a pretty rocking and stiff style over there in Japan. You ready for that too? Well, I'm sure Melissa's kind of got you ready for it. I'm sure Lufisto's got you ready for it, so you're probably ready for it.
I can handle some snug hits.
You can give as good as you get, apparently.
That is right. And if you can't, get out of the ring.
Well, you know, I want to say this without insulting anybody that's on the WoW roster. So I'm going to try to make this as nice as I can put it. Now, just with that statement alone, if you can't take it, get out of the ring. Okay, now you got a lot of girls that were in there that probably never stepped foot into a ring up until the point that they were hired for that show. So how do you curve what it is that you do to fit them?
I don't. If you can't take it, get out of the ring.
Even the actresses. I mean, because I know for a fact that some of them are actresses. You know, they're actresses that are being trained into being wrestlers for the purposes of that program. Now, you know, by proxy they become wrestlers, or by default they become wrestlers, and I think maybe one or two of them actually continue to pursue it. But by and large, you got actors and models, and I'm not knocking that. You know, I'm not knocking them wanting to go into that. They may like it too. I don't know, but
yes,
you're
you
at
are.
a different level.
Yes,
No, not knocking it. Not. I'm impartial. The
subtext of what you just said is, why the hell are you dealing with models that think they can wrestle?
No. Let me rephrase that, okay? Rephrase that. Because I actually like them. I really do. I really like them, okay? I don't want to cause no problems with WoW. I really like some of them. You know, they've been very sweet to me. And what I'm saying, you know, maybe it came out wrong. What I'm saying is, you know, you have trained as a pro wrestler. You didn't start acting first, transition into wrestling. They're doing it in reverse. So I would imagine that would be a clash of styles. I guess that's the best way I could put it. It would be a clash of styles for you to trim down what you're doing. You're used to wrestling snug. And for people that don't know wrestling, snug means you're going to connect every once in a while. You're going to make some of them shots hurt, if not all of them.
Honestly, I was trained in professional wrestling, therefore, you know, I do know when to dull it down. My job, I'm not going to hurt the models or the actors. That's not my job. My job is to make them look as best as I can, and I'm going to do that. But I'm still going to do it snug.
Okay. Now, I'm sure that there's some spoilers that have gone on in there. And since the show is kind of in limbo, I'm just going to ask anyway. Now, the program that Spike had in the course of how many episodes did you tape? Do you recall how many episodes were taped?
I believe it was like 12.
12? Okay, so you guys did a full season worth of this show.
Yes.
How many what was the overall storyline that you had, and who were you rivaled against?
I'm rivaled against Lana Starr. And here's the thing, Lana Starr is an actress and a model. And that girl can wrestle. That girl can wrestle really good.
And that would be Lana Kinnear. Some people know her as Malibu McKenzie from the Wrestlelicious program. Also Lana Starr, and she had a little bit of a Rio de Janeiro title run, which I talked about when I spoke with her last. And anybody that knows the story behind the Intercontinental Championship knows what the Rio de Janeiro storyline happens to be.
Yes.
Yeah, and for those that don't, it's the fictitious title change that took place somewhere in Brazil for them to put the belt on, who was that, Patterson. So, and she admitted it, she was like, they claimed that WoW continued on and she held the title for like a decade, which is hilarious, I think.
No comment.
You didn't like that the story that they had?
I'm pleading the fifth.
Okay, so all right, yeah, I don't want you to burn no bridges. Don't burn any bridges. So we'll leave Spike alone, and we'll move back to Hudson Envy.
I like the story. I like what they did, just for the simple fact that I got the opportunity to be in the ring with Lana, because she's a sweetheart, and even though pro wrestling wasn't her initial beginning, she was just so in tune to learn everything, to take a proper bump, and that girl is a snug worker, and she was farming me, and I was like, you go, girl. So I'm happy at what they did, because if they didn't, I would have never got the opportunity to be in the ring with Lana.
Very good. And I will give myself a quick plug on that note. I will use that to segue to say that if you haven't heard Lana Kinnear, a.k.a. Lana Starr, you can go right onto my YouTube page, and there it is. Have a quick interview with her where she also addresses the status of WoW and that she sees everybody making the comments, asking the questions, and so on and so forth. And she's aware, and they're shopping the deal. That's all it comes down to. It's not in her hands, just like it's not in your hands. The production staff, production team have been shopping the deal, and assumably they want a network, because syndicated TV doesn't exist the same way that it did when WoW aired originally. It's pretty much dead. So, good luck to them.
Yes, absolutely.
But you're absolutely right. She was a sweetheart. She was great to come on the show and all that stuff. And that's why I said I'm not knocking them. I wasn't getting on any of them. They've been great. They've been great to me.
I will stand up for them any day.
Oh, okay. Well, then you need to convince her just to go into wrestling. Just say, put that acting thing to the side. Come in the ring with you. Pop down to SoCal. Y'all do a tag team or something like that, or get into a program. I'm just saying.
I tried.
You tried? You couldn't convince her to do it? Well, okay. Oh, I got you. Gotta let her follow her heart. I can dig it.
Exactly.
So we will leave Spike. We will leave that character alone now. She's at rest. She's on the shelf. She's inside of 12 episodes of unseen programming, hopefully to be released one day. And we'll go back to Hudson. Hudson, give me a dream opponent.
My dream?
Somebody that you're not scheduled to face, because you already got Cheerleader Melissa on the horizon. You already got your mentor. So somebody that you're not scheduled to face and have not faced yet, just on the name alone, or somebody that you've watched and you enjoy their work. Give me a dream opponent. Either nationally known, they could be WWE or Impact or independent, doesn't matter. Just hit me.
Kana.
Kana?
Yes.
Okay. Where is she working primarily? Excuse me.
Van.
And why is she a dream opponent?
Oh my God, she is crazy in the ring. I know for a fact if we were to get in the ring, I would have to use my technical skills. I would have to use, my power. I would have to use everything in my bag to face her. And
to
I
face
think
her or survive her?
Huh?
To face her or survive her?
I am not going to say survivor. I'm going to say face her because we all know I am going to survive every match because I am the future of women's wrestling, and that's the end of the story.
Okay. Did you produce that moniker yourself?
Actually, no. That was given to me. A whole bunch of fans started chanting it one night, and it just stuck.
Okay, so you just took it and you ran with it.
Yeah, I was like, why not?
Okay. I guess that's something that you might as well go ahead and keep. Future of women's wrestling. That's a tall order, mind you, but hold on to that. You never know that you might be able to take that moniker to brand new heights.
I hope so.
Of course you can. Now, here's the other side the flip side of that question: fantasy opponent.
Fantasy,
Fantasy might maybe somebody that you just they're retired. They're not gonna get back in the ring, but if you had your chance,
if I had my chance,
it
would be Luna Vachon.
Ooh, yeah, that would have been interesting.
Yeah. Then I would have to pull all the tricks in my bag to survive a match. I will admit it.
Well, I'm sure that there are enough tricks in the bag to have survived it. So, but unfortunately, yeah, that's a nice call. That's a nice fantasy matchup that you got happening there. I do see that there's another call on the line. Perhaps it is a fan of yours. I don't know. I'm gonna endeavor because I wasn't looking for guest calls today, but let's be risky. Let's take a look. 8066, you are on the line. Oh, well, maybe they didn't want to say anything. I don't know. Maybe they got scared. I don't know.
Nope.
Hello?
All right. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right.
Who's calling?
Sorry about that. This is Captain Comic-Con calling from, a lot of different places.
Oh, okay. You want to ask Hudson a question?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I definitely have a question.
We are having some technical difficulties. It's okay. I'm having them too.
Yeah. First off, Hudson, I want to congratulate you on your victory over Brittany Wonder at the last AWS show. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
My question for you is, after watching the women's tournament and seeing all the matches end up the way they did, how do you feel about Christina Von Eerie winning the tournament?
Well, Christina Von Eerie is definitely an opponent that I think I kind of had a hunch because I've been in the ring with her. I know what she can do. So she was the girl that I had my finger on, her or Candace, that were going to win it. But, I know she's a tough opponent. I took the title off of her. So when she cashes in, her rematch calls for the title, I'm going to do what I did to her at the anniversary show and keep my title.
Nice.
Okay, well, you got another one lined up for?
Man. Okay. Quick There we go. I got another one for you. Given in
we got two of them.
All right. Given, huh?
No, I'll just say you got. I'm opening them up for two of them. Go ahead.
Okay. Given in the line for after watching the women's tournament, seeing it all prevail, as I said, who in that tournament, besides Christina Von Nery obviously winning, would you see yourself having a match with?
Well, like I said, me and Cheerleader Melissa have some unfinished business to take care of.
Well, yeah. All right. Well, there we go.
But that sounds like that might be worth the ticket. She's been talking to Cheerleader Melissa a lot. But Captain Comic-Con, thank you for calling in. I do appreciate it.
Thank you.
No problem. Now, Hudson, there is one other thing that I have to ask this, because I look down on Facebook and not many people have what you have. People go their whole careers and may not get what you got. How the hell did you get a toy, an action figure? How did you get an action figure done?
Isn't that so cool?
Yeah, like, people go their lifetime and don't get that.
I have an amazing fan who saw my hardcore match last year against Candice LeRae, and he messaged me, and he was like, "Can I make an action figure of you?" And I just told him, I was like, "You don't even have to ask. Go for it. Like, thank you." So
okay,
it shocked me, but I'm pretty stoked about it.
Yes, as I said, there are people that go the duration of their career and don't have an action figure, whether that's custom or otherwise. And I saw that, and I was legitimately impressed. I was like, man, that is pretty good. I'm wondering how much time he took to paint it and all that stuff.
I know, me too. But for being only wrestling for going on 2 years, I am very extremely blessed. I have stepped in the ring with some of the best women to date wrestlers around, and it's a dream to me. I'm just living my dream.
Okay, what's next on the list of dreams? I mean, we said Japan, but there has to be a couple of steps in between now and Japan. What's the short term? Anything that you can share, or do they have to remain secret right now?
All I can say is I have coming soon some big debuts to be had. I can't tell you where, but when I can, I will definitely tell the world.
Okay, fair enough. We don't want to spoil it. I would have liked to have heard it, but I understand. You can't ruin anything. And certainly don't want to jinx that. Good match of yours to see online right now. You and Rebby Sky. You and I spoke about aggression earlier. You stomped her in a very precarious area. I think like 2 or 3 times.
Oh, you mean my famous SWAT stomp?
Yeah. Yes. That wasn't very nice. That was. I'm not a woman, and that looked pretty uncomfortable.
Well, I wouldn't know because it didn't happen to me, but it happens.
Yes, it happens. Also, another matchup that seems to be quite interesting. I didn't get the chance to see this, and I only saw it in photographs. You and one Nightmare in Green, Mischief.
Oh. That was
How was that experience?
It was an amazing learning experience. That woman bent me like a pretzel.
Ooh.
Yeah. But being in the ring with Mischief was a great learning experience. She's a very well, respected female wrestler. She kicked my butt that match. I have no shame in saying it. It was like surreal in the match. As soon as we locked up, I knew I was in for something.
And it's mighty big of you to admit that. The normal wrestling thing to do would be say that I didn't lose.
Oh, no. I lost.
Just deny it altogether. It never happened. But that's all right. That's all good. You admitted it, so I can. There lies additional respect that you are able to do that. So we've covered your goal of going to Japan. You say you have some goals between that point and then, most of which are going to have to remain secretive and under wraps at this point. So let's get to the selling point here. There are two big things coming up, and we want you to make sure that people that are able to get there know and do take the drive and buy the ticket and show up and see these two matches. Those two matches being Cheerleader Melissa and Lufisto on the horizon. The dates again for Cheerleader Melissa, again, please.
That one doesn't have a date yet. That one is still...
Oh. It's still pending. You're just mad that she hit you.
And that is a big issue.
Okay.
But I will let you know
Melissa,
that match will be happening soon.
Okay. It's around the corner. It's happening soon. You got to get your retribution for this heinous crime that Melissa did to you.
Yes.
And, of course, Lufisto, you will be defending your championship. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And that will be on July 25th. Is that also correct?
Yes. July 25th down in Southgate. I will be defending my AWS Women's Championship against Lufisto.
And it will be student versus teacher, which is always interesting. And nevertheless, we also have to say, just as a big shout out, to your biggest rival, Tab Jackson, who you've all basically promised to put her back into the hospital should she step into the ring with you again.
Well, I mean, she should. For her health, no, she shouldn't. But for my pleasure of bringing her pain, she should. I'm just saying.
Oh, all right. Well, Tab, you have been forewarned. I hope that you don't go that far and you don't stick her back into a hospital. You've already told me that you know which body part is injured, and I'm sure you wouldn't take advantage of such a thing to do that.
Yes, I would.
Or okay, I was going to say, or that might be wishful thinking on my part. I don't know. Apparently it is. So, yeah, fair warning, Tab. You may want to stay away from Hudson for a little while, just to make sure that you're 100% and completely healthy. So, lastly, is there any other little matchups? Because you got a ways to go before you get to Lufisto now. You got a little bit of time here, so there has to be some other dates in between there that you are going to be participating in. Some other promotions, perhaps.
Oh, there's tons of dates, tons. There's June 6th coming up this Friday. I will be in a Good Housekeeping match against a man by the name of Jacob Trasso for my home federation, Jesse Hernandez's EWF.
A Good Housekeeping match.
Yeah, he thinks that women belong in the kitchen, and he injured my knee last year. And through the grapevine, I've heard that he's been tormenting the women of EWF. So I need to remind him of what his mother did, and that is manners.
Okay. Well, I would hate to see you perform the same stomp on him that you did with Rebby, because I'm sure that would be excruciatingly painful. That much I know for him. It would be excruciatingly painful for him. So yes, you got a good housekeeping match coming up this weekend. Sorry to interrupt the dates, but go ahead, continue, please.
And then we have June 14th, Vendetta Pro in Semi Valley, and that's a tag team matchup. I get to team up with my boys, so that's pretty exciting. And then I believe, if I'm not getting my dates mixed up, let me make sure. Yep, June 28th. Well, June 21st, I will be tag teaming with my tag team partner, Ruby Reyes, at AWS. And then June 28th and 29th, I make my debut for IWA Mid-South. So that is a pretty big booking I'm pretty excited about.
Cool. And you have a tag team partner. That's even better.
I do.
You haven't turned on each other yet?
Never.
Never? Okay.
Never.
Didn't Sean and Marty say that once?
She is my other half. She is my best friend. I will never turn on her.
Oh, okay. I just, when I hear those things, I always tend to think about that kick to the mouth that Shawn Michaels did once upon a time, back in the days.
That is why bromances are stupid. This isn't a bromance. It's between two women.
Okay, that's a little bit different.
Exactly.
Just only slightly, though. Only slightly. Stranger things have happened. And I'll leave it on that. Stranger things have happened. So there we have it, folks. The West Coast Warrior, the future of women's wrestling, Hudson Envy, has given you the dates. Now it's up to you to go out there and find the time and buy the tickets to go see her perform. And the further that you give her support, the more likely she is to get to her dream of going to the dojos of Japan. She'll be able to go out there and really work snug and hurt somebody, or I don't want to say get hurt, but because we don't want that to happen. But she could possibly go over there and hurt somebody. And the more you get your promoters to ask for Hudson Envy by name, it only helps increase her profile, and I'm sure she would love you all for that.
Yes. Just tell them you want to see me, and the more you guys tell them you want to see me, the more likely chance it'll happen.
That's correct. Provided they have to have the money. Need the money. We don't want her working for cheap. This is a business after all. I'm just saying. Well, it's business. It is still a business. We want you to be taken care of out there on the road. Everybody should be able to eat and do little things like that, like have a roof over their head. So there we have it. She's on tour. What'd you say?
I said, yes, my house is very important to me.
I would hope so. I would certainly hope so. I know there are wrestlers that have claimed that they live off in parts unknown and places like that, but usually parts unknown is somebody's apartment or a house. It has a nice ring to it to say parts unknown, but houses are cool too. So that being the case, we thank you for making time out of your day, out of your sunny day out there in California, to stop onto the show. And for those that are listening to this, and if you didn't catch it in its entirety, the entire MP3 version will be available on iTunes and the iTunes Store Also, and the easier place would be on YouTube. You won't be able to miss it. It'll have the Hudson Envy poster connected to the audio. What more can you ask for there? Any closing statements, Hudson?
Just thank you guys for your support, and thank you for having me on, your radio. It means a lot to me.
No problem. Thank you for coming. You've been a wonderful guest, and to talk to you, people would never know that you're quite as aggressive as you are in the ring. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Check me out tomorrow when I get the powerhouse princess, lovely Lila, on the show. Good night, everybody.